Are you a Sigma male? In a world that worships noise, the Sigma glides in silence. In an age that prizes social validation, the Sigma is self-sufficient. He doesn't crave the spotlight, he bends it. He's never the loudest man in the room, but he's the one everyone notices without knowing why. The Sigma male is emotionally distant and ultimately unknowable. You can stand next to him for years and still feel that part of him lives elsewhere. In our time, a time terrified of dominance, allergic to charisma, and hostile to masculine independence, the Sigma has become the most coveted type of all. He represents what modern culture secretly misses, the man who cannot be possessed, cannot be guilted, cannot be made to kneel. He's the last free man, walking outside the hierarchy, yet commanding it by presence alone. These are the 5 most important traits of the Sigma male. The architecture of the lone wolf's power. First, independence. The Sigma is free, not as a slogan, but as a condition of his being. He answers to no authority except his own judgment. His life is ruled by necessity and instinct, not by the collective expectations of others. He's capable of leadership, but he rarely seeks it, because leading means explaining, and the Sigma has no interest in explaining himself. Second, self-sufficiency. The Sigma relies on no one. His body, mind, and will form a closed circuit. If the Alpha builds kingdoms from followers, the Sigma builds fortresses of solitude. He earns, learns, and endures alone. This self-sufficiency is not arrogance, it's preparation. He knows the world will fail him eventually, and so he trains to need nothing from it. Third, no need for validation. The Sigma has already conquered the internal war that consumes most men. The need to be seen, recognized, and loved. That hunger was burned out of him long ago. The desire to be seen as mysterious is a gamma trait, imitation masquerading as depth. The true Sigma does not want to be perceived at all. He moves like wind through a crowded room, felt but never grasped. The fourth is social understanding. The Sigma understands people far better than they understand him. Because he stands outside of social life, he can see it as a system. The way power flows, the way emotions manipulate, the way lies build hierarchies. He reads the subtext of conversation like a conqueror reads a battlefield map. This understanding gives him leverage, though he rarely uses it crudely. And fifth, he's outside the hierarchy. The Sigma stands apart from the pyramid, not below it, not above it. He is its silent mirror. He neither commands nor obeys, and that makes him impossible to control. He exists in a parallel order, one of solitude, where every victory is internal. The Alpha may rule the tribe, but the Sigma rules himself. The Sigma's relationships with the other male types reveal his nature more clearly than anything else. The Sigma respects the Alpha, sometimes deeply. He recognizes that the Alpha keeps civilization alive by sheer dominance, that he brings energy and order to the weak. But the Sigma also sees the Alpha's dependence. The Alpha draws strength from his followers' admiration. He feeds on applause. To the Sigma, that dependence is a chain, invisible but unbreakable. The Sigma doesn't envy the Alpha's throne because thrones require audiences. Still, when the Alpha falters, when the leader falls in battle or loses his way, the Sigma may step forward not for glory but to restore equilibrium. He does not destroy healthy hierarchies. Only the dark Sigma, the saboteur, the revolutionary, poisons the structure of power. The true Sigma withdraws rather than corrupts. When 2 Sigmas meet, there's no rivalry, no flattery, only silent recognition. A nod, a half smile, perhaps a conversation that lasts an hour, but means a lifetime. They share no brotherhood because brotherhood requires belonging, but they respect each other's distance as wild animals respect territory. The Sigma finds bravos amusing and faintly tragic. The bravo lives for the crowd, to charm, to entertain, to be liked. To the Sigma, this is a form of slavery. He may join the bravo's circle temporarily, even enjoy his warmth, but he never stays. The Sigma views his life as an art form. The bravo treats his as a stage. The Sigma leaves before the curtain drops. The Sigma respects betas and deltas for their endurance and their reliability. He knows that most of society rests on their shoulders, but they lack the voltage that interests him. Conversation with them feels safe but dull. The Sigma doesn't despise them. He simply drifts away, drawn back to solitude where his thoughts have no ceiling. The sigma and the gamma share a unique bond, one of recognition and warning. The sigma understands the gamma's pain because he once felt it: alienation, resentment, the feeling of being unseen. The difference is that the sigma transformed that pain into clarity while the gamma stayed in self-pity. The sigma will sometimes offer guidance, a kind of tough love, a challenge or a wake-up call. He sees in the gamma not an enemy, but a mirror, a glimpse of what he might have become had he not mastered himself. But if the gamma clings to his bitterness, the sigma will leave him to his fate. The sigma does not rescue men who refuse to wake up. The sigma sees in the omega the extreme end of the outsider's path, a man completely divorced from society, lost in isolation. The sigma recognizes a fragment of himself there, but he knows the difference between solitude and ruin. The omega fell out of the world. The sigma stepped out of it by choice. He offers no pity, no judgment, only distance. The sigma has become the obsession of an entire generation of young men, and with that obsession comes distortion. Let's separate myth from truth. The first myth is that the sigma is just an introvert with attitude. This is false. The sigma's solitude isn't shyness, but sovereignty. He doesn't avoid people out of fear. He avoids them out of indifference. His silence is not discomfort. It's his strategy for a life of freedom. The second myth: the sigma wants to be seen as mysterious. No, that's an insecure gamma pretending to be deep. The sigma doesn't care what label you give him. He's not cultivating a brand. He's building an inner world. The third myth: the sigma secretly wishes to be an alpha. This is absolutely wrong. The alpha dominates externally. The sigma governs internally. To the sigma, commanding others is a distraction from the real task, commanding oneself. The fourth myth: the sigma doesn't feel emotions. Actually, he feels intensely, far more than most men. But his emotions exist beneath the surface, where they don't rot in social performance. His grief, his love, his joy, they belong to him alone. The sigma can smile, even laugh, but it's always on his terms. He has the wisdom to realize that romantic love moves in a circle, beginning in idealism, dying in routine, reborn in memory. And the fifth myth: the sigma is loyal to no one. This is partly true, but not as cynicism. The sigma is ultimately only truly loyal to himself and his hidden mission. He may guide others and even inspire them, but he never surrenders his will. He belongs to no cause, no ideology, no lover. He is a free agent of destiny. The sigma and women, it's a story of fascination and distance, attraction and absence. Women are drawn to him precisely because they can't predict him. The sigma has the wisdom to understand that all romantic love moves in a circle, from mystery to passion to boredom to loss, and back again to memory. He admires beauty without the need to possess it. He doesn't fight the cycle, he accepts it. This is why he doesn't chase women. Women are ornaments to the sigma's life, but always peripheral to it. He knows that every woman is a passerby. The alpha female is drawn to the sigma's detachment because she's surrounded by men who want to worship her. The sigma refuses. He sees through her charisma and beauty to the will underneath. Their chemistry is electric but unstable, a collision of two sovereigns. He may have a long, tumultuous affair with her, but he will never submit to marriage. She will admire him forever, but he'll leave without regret. The union of two sigmas is the rarest in human life. These are two wanderers who recognize each other by scent and by silence. Their love is mythic and ultimately impossible, because the sigma woman, like the man, fears the loss of freedom more than the loss of love. When two sigmas meet, they often admire each other from afar, keeping the potential of their union intact by never letting it happen. The sigma appreciates the baddie's beauty and her vitality. She represents the pulse of the world he's left behind. But she tires him quickly, her need for attention, her endless drama, her performative sexuality. He may have short flings, but he departs soon after, leaving her wondering if she ever really knew him. The sigma avoids broodies entirely. The broodie's earthiness feels crude to him. She often senses his indifference and calls it arrogance. She's not wrong. The sigma regards her as beneath his wavelength. While broody women worship alphas, they mistrust sigmas. They sense the danger of a man who can't be understood. Occasionally, the sigma marries a chastity. He admires her simplicity and devotion. She provides peace and routine. But though she may share his home, she will never fully share his heart. The chastity yearns for emotional union, and the sigma cannot give it. She senses the void in him and fills it with faith or motherhood. To outsiders, it looks serene, but she knows there's a part of him that will always be elsewhere. Unlike alphas, the sigma sometimes entertains gamma women, often out of curiosity or compassion. The gamma woman's emotional intensity can excite him for a time, but he knows the danger. Her love turns to obsession, her fascination to hatred. He will retreat before the bond can consume him. The sigma doesn't even notice delta and omega women, not out of cruelty, but because they don't exist in his world. His attention moves only toward what challenges him, interests him, or mirrors him. The rest fade into background noise. So, who is the sigma male? He's the solitary architect of his own existence. The man who steps beyond command and obedience, living by an inner law the world can't decipher. He doesn't crave recognition. He creates silently, invisibly. His victories are private, his power internal. He's the ghost of the hierarchy, shaping it without belonging to it. While others compete for the crown, he vanishes into the wilderness, where no one follows and no one rules. In the next video, we'll bring this archetype into focus through history itself. The great men who lived by their own laws, who moved empires from the shadows, and whose solitude shaped civilizations. Sigmas in history, the hidden lineage of the lone wolf. They were the ghosts behind the thrones, the exiles who shaped empires, and in their stories, the modern Sigma finds his reflection. Subscribe and continue climbing or stepping outside the hierarchy.